Hello. I just wanted to share a quick video today on one of the reasons why I chose to live a plant-based vegan diet and lifestyle. So back in 2016, I come across something that was really interesting to me, and that is hemp milk. Found it at the store. I was living on a farmhouse. I remember very, very clearly that I found it because I was so excited. It was a carton, looked like those little almond milk cartons, little quart-sized container. So I got one of those. Actually, I bought like 10 of them. I think I bought every single one of them from Kroger. And that's all I drank because the protein that I found inside of the hemp milk on the carton when I looked said, oh, damn, that's a lot of protein. And a lot of other essential nutrients as well. So I gave this hemp milk, a try for about 2 weeks, I think, straight. And at this time, I had been experimenting with some things and also hadn't been eating. So I had just been drinking this hemp milk only. And I just remember chug-a-lugging it, just guzzling a whole thing down at a time. And it would fill me up. I'd feel pretty content. So I noticed about 10 days in, maybe 7 days in, something that had never happened to me before. And I'll tell you, one thing I've been consistent with my whole life up till 2017 October was eating flesh of an animal or dairy every day, or almost every day, all the way up to that point. I was very consistent. I was as consistent with doing that as I was breathing. And my whole life I had been clogged up inside of my congestion. My nasal system had been congested. So my entire life. I remember the earliest I can remember was taking probably shots and medicine, pills wise, and also the nasal sprays that go in your nose. So I've been through that ringer, and keep in mind, none of that worked. And I had been given, I think it was told that I was allergic to laundry detergent or just the allergies from the outside, which that does play a part in it. But I'm talking about can't breathe through my nose my whole life. No matter what season it is, I could be inside for a whole week with a purification system or whatever, and it did not matter. So, week to 10 days in, I notice I can breathe through both of my nostrils completely clear and clean for the first time ever. So, that sparked something, that ignited something huge within me that said, you know, this stuff, it only makes sense. The mucus and the phlegm and the buildup, yeah, it's necessary, and your body can produce that on its own whenever you have a sickness or an illness. But for it to be constantly there at all times, there's an imbalance of something being put into your body. That stuff is supposed to, I'm assuming, surround a virus or any kind of infection and then find its way out. But this was just constant. So anyways, that went away, and when I got a taste of that felt really freaking good. Now, don't get me wrong, I also have that year of 2016, I'd also had a come to God moment, and I could actually see the suffering also going on in the animal kingdom, and an over influx of compassion and empathy towards them also just drove me to the path that I'm on as well. So, and then further down the line, the more I researched into it, and the more in depth you go, of course, you find out way more info, as anyone knows who's done extensive research into veganism and plant-based diet. You can also help the environment, your whole planet as well. You're not just helping up your own health. You're not only saving an animal, you're also saving the planet and all living beings on this planet. So, one fantastic thing that kicked it all off. I didn't actually go vegan in 2016, but I got a taste of what it can do for you. And it's huge. That was absolutely huge for me. 21 years, never been able to breathe out of my nose, and then I'm able to. So, my son was born 2017, and a few months after he was born, I realized that I wanted to grow him in a plant-based diet, and I had also still at this time been eating not very much. I think all I had was chicken this last year of my omnivorous diet, and I said, you know, if I'm going to raise my son this way, And I know for a fact I want him to eat this way. I don't want him to touch this meat and dairy and goo. I don't want him to be clogged up like I was. I don't want him to live through the same thing I was going through. And also got rashes on my legs my whole life too. Probably from that as well. I mean, I got out in poison ivy a lot too, but yeah. So I didn't want to feel like a hypocrite. And so about 3 months in, I'm just staring at my son. I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to be so committed to this. No one will be able to break me off of this path. And I felt the benefits through the roof to that point to where, yeah, I'm doing it. And I did it. And I'm grateful for that. Now, that's just the initial benefit. The benefits that I've had from there, yeah, I still get an illness here and there, but it's probably more like every 6 months to a year versus every month or 2 months or so, or, very frequent. Now, I will say I lost tons of weight for anyone interested, but I tell you what, one thing that is vegan and that will make you fat is sugar and gluten. So if you like bread and you think, I'm gonna go vegan, but I'm gonna eat a bunch of bread, I'm still gonna drink my dairy or my dairy-free creamer with tons of sugar in it, still gonna gain that weight, you're still gonna keep that weight, but it's gonna be a different kind of feeling. It's not gonna be so phlegm and congested in your nose, but actually the gluten will do that too. I'll take that back, because that will mess me up. So as of January 2020, I have gone gluten-free, other than one little bite of something at a restaurant from someone. Other than that, we'll keep that under wraps. But yeah, I feel fantastic with the gluten-free. I recommend that to anyone. I don't care if you have no symptoms of celiacs or leaky gut. I think it's something that can gradually creep up on anyone over time and the amount of severity. Humans are resilient, and some people are way more resilient than others, but don't let it fool you and don't let it creep up on you. You don't want that to happen. Just because you can handle it now don't mean you can forever, but rest assured that when you're eating kale and chickpeas and potatoes and carrots and just all kinds of avocados and asparagus, quinoa, and all this is seasoned to perfection. I mean, goodness, it's just fantastic. Hemp hearts in smoothies, hemp seed everything, hemp seed cheese. Oh man, add some dates, some water, and some hemp hearts, make you some hemp milk. God bless. There's so many variants, and you can pretty much get anything that was non-vegan, you can get it vegan. So it's not a cult. It's something that, yeah, if you're vegan, you pretty much talk about it all the time, because damn, I lived that life of not being that and went through way more suffering, and also knew I was extending suffering onto some other being somewhere else. So it feels good to know that participating in only necessary evils by killing plants, but not unnecessary evils, just to please my taste buds, really, and harm my own body, because I just don't see any benefit from some slabs of bacon and ham and hamburgers and all that stuff. It just looks disease-ridden. I mean, think about it. When you got an animal that's been stuck in a cage and cramped up with a bunch of other animals, probably had their baby stripped from them, they're going to feel a lot of pain and suffering that's going to be transferred, because it's stored in their DNA. Energy can't be destroyed or created, only transferred. So as you transfer that energy of fear and hatred and anger and sadness from the animal's flesh, and you just import that into you, you're just downloading pain and suffering, you're downloading anxiety, you're downloading toxicity,